So one of the things that I want to talk about is a film that I did a vlog for recently. Actually, a couple. One of them is, you know, Spider-Man: Homecoming. Yeah. Just gonna cut to the chase. I rewatched it again. A while back when I did that Burnout video, or I think it was Wish Upon a. Either way, I did a future vlog talking about how, I had very different feelings towards Spider-Man: Homecoming, so just, if you haven't read it yet, I'll link my written review for it, so there's that. But the other film I want to talk about is War for the Planet of the Apes. I know I talked about that when I did my Planet of the Apes trilogy reboot marathon vlog, where I went to the full-on marathon for all three of those movies. And seeing all those... I talked about how seeing all those films all together really adds a stronger impact, because you're seeing the progression Caesar is going through, starting off from where he is in Rise of the Planet of the Apes as the child of an ape who was part of an experiment, and then slowly evolve into this revolutionary leader going up against humanity, and along with this army of apes. And then, with the progression in Dawn, on how it conflicts trying to live among humans and try to keep mutual territory where it is. Of course, that ultimately doesn't succeed and results in him trying to finish up a war that he did not start. Seeing it through the marathon, it really showed a lot of story progression, and I got around to seeing it again, I believe about a week after it came out, maybe, I don't know. But after rewatching it again with my friend Sophia, I actually ended up really liking the film a lot more. Because one of the problems that I had with some of the previous Planet of the Apes movies is that, there were some human characters that just really didn't leave a good impression on me. It just kind of irked me in the wrong way. And there were some bits where the CGI, I could tell, wasn't convincing enough. Not so much with the apes, because with the apes, their CGI is absolutely excellent. It was just like little bits aside from the apes that got to me. This one, however, there was, watching this a second time, I didn't really find a moment where I wasn't enjoying myself. Like, everything definitely feels like it's where it needs to be. And like I said, Andy Serkis, he is probably one of the most underrated actors working today, because I know a lot of people don't give credit to motion capture, kind of in a similar fashion to voice acting. Like, people don't really see it as true performance unless they see all of it. But here, this is where I think this is a major exception. Because, sorry, I had a phone call. But yeah, just Andy Serkis' performance in War for the Planet of the Apes, I honestly would probably say is his strongest, because you do see his determination for survival against humans more so than how it was in Rise or Dawn, by far. It especially takes a really dark turn within the first act. Like, you think... I don't want to go into spoilers, because it's... damn. You just gotta see it for yourself. It's... Woody Harrelson in this movie is probably he was my answer to the one thing that I had a problem when it came to some of the previous Planet of the Apes movies. It's that when it comes to having a villainous human, I should say, they weren't really anything that special, and I think Woody Harrelson is the one that really nails it, because you do see that he has a real motivation for doing this, not just because he's not just because he's like Tom Felton in Rise, where he's just working a really crappy job he doesn't like and just has fun tormenting monkeys, or apes, or some of the other humans, like I think Gary Oldman's character. No, wait. There were. No, it was the human protagonist that I wasn't really fond of the first time. Gary Oldman was technically a human villain. He at least had some form of motivation to it. But, God, now I'm even confusing myself in this rambling. But a lot of people seem to have been a little bit disinterested in his and Woody Harrelson as in War. But honestly, I think it's what I was missing, because you got someone who doesn't have an indirect vendetta against the apes, but they're still the cause of what brought him to such a devastating low and to why he's revolting against them. And it also shows that he isn't it isn't just the apes that he's made enemies with, but other humans as well, because of how dedicated he's become with his revenge. And he does explain philosophically that it's just the law of nature. It's either humans go or apes go. That's how it is. And that scene of them talking with each other, and like, that moment where, he goes so emotional. It's like, I thought, wait a minute. Because that line of him saying, like, you're taking this too personally, I thought, well, you did kind of. Yeah, honestly, I think that the more I think about it, that's like one of the bits where I'm a little iffy on, because his vendetta against the apes isn't. Actually, no, I take that back. You know what I'm getting at. And a lot of people were really turned off by Steve Zahn's Bad Ape character. But honestly, I felt like it was kind of a needed balance, to balance out the heavily dramatic stuff with something that's a little bit more comedic, but not to the point where it's like Jar Jar Binks levels of annoying, but just to where it's there for enough amount of time. And yeah, I would definitely say this is a film I'm hoping to revisit again soon. Now that I've got like the original Planet of the Apes collection on Blu-ray, I'm definitely gonna look forward to getting the trilogy box set when it comes out, and I'm honestly hoping it stays a trilogy, because with how good the past three films have been, and rewatching them, the more I think about it, the better they are. They're definitely films that I would like to revisit again and own. But like I said, let's keep it to 3. Let's end it on a very high note. Let's keep it as it is. Like, I feel the same way about Star Trek Beyond, where I love it. I think it's a fantastic film, but I think at this point, it'd be best to end on a trilogy, especially considering Anton Yelchin's passing. We miss you, man. Yeah, so hopefully keep it to sticking it as a trilogy. I don't know how many times I've said that, but let's do that. So yeah, those are my thoughts on my revisiting of Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and now we get to talk about something a little bit more lighthearted.